Okay, Homestead Acres here. I probably look like a mess. Working on the lawn tractor today. I just thought I'd share what I'm doing here, just for entertainment purposes or possibly educational purposes. Anyways, this is an old, well, they call this, what do they brand this one as? Turf Track, but they're MTD. They're basically a company that build them for all different types of brands. This system here, I'll be honest, I don't know what the technical term is for this type of gearing system, but I don't know what you call it, but basically how it works, it's a lot like a skidoo in that these pulleys go, these pulleys split in and out, and as they do, they heighten where the belt goes, and that changes your speed. So this is basically a transmission as far as gears, you know, how fast it goes. And then there's another lever where your gear shifter is here. This just makes it go into reverse, neutral, and forward. And this is how fast it speeds. And this belt goes up to your main belt where the engine is. Now what's happened is, it's been really hard to get in and out of gear as far as getting it back into neutral. As a matter of fact, it gets to the point where it's impossible. And it just likes to keep on going and you can't stop it. Matter of fact, the other day I got off the fool thing and it pulled itself right into gear, and my daughter thought it was quite funny. She was standing with her mother and saw the whole thing. It decided to keep on going, went through the barn doors here and crashed right into the shop. So, well, I chased after it like a fool. Anyways, all it is you can see that this goes here. Okay, there's a swinging action. Now I've already started loosening this. I've got my socket on there. This bolt inside here is like a bushing, and there'll be grease inside here, and that allows this to turn. The spring keeps tension on it in one direction, and I've got the spring disconnected, and then there'll be a lever here that goes up to your foot pedal, and the position of your foot pedal here and how far it goes is how it sets what gear it's in. And if it goes far enough, it also controls your brakes and basically turns this to the point where it's no longer tight, so it acts like your clutch as well. It's got two mechanisms in one. And this has got all the grease or whatever's wore off over the years. This is probably 15 years old at best, maybe more. I don't know how old it would be, maybe a bit older. And so I just need to take this out, clean this out, and repack it with grease, and then it should work just fine after that. I was in kind of a hurry in spring, and I tried to fix this, and I put some oil in there, but it hasn't lasted very long. So, got the deck off, and then that's the next thing I'm doing. I've taken my deck off to sharpen the blades again. I don't like these old MTDs. The decks are really hard to get off. The International Cub Cadet I used to have years ago when I used to do grass cutting for a business, it was a far superior machine. It had actually a transmission with 5 gears in it, and it was a totally different setup than this. And the deck you could take on and off in a matter of minutes. This thing here is a real nuisance, but as you can see, lots of treasures in here. So I'll clean this all off and pull these blades off and pull all the old string and toys and baler twine, whatever else I catch on the lawn, and we'll give them a nice sharpen up, then we're all good to go. So you can see the what would you call it, axle pin or whatever, the pin that was inside there that I was telling you about. It goes through here, and then of course it goes inside here as well, and there's some little plastic bushings in there or whatever. That all that needed to do is to turn maybe within like 20 degrees or something each way, and you can see how it's, because it doesn't get that circular motion, it doesn't take long for this stuff to build up and get all crusty. So I'm going to clean this outside of the pin right off and sand it up real good, polish it up there, and I'll re-grease the whole thing, and it should work like it's brand new. So you can see I've polished it all. I even took the sander to it. Nice fine sand grit to polish that off nice and smooth again, because it was getting all gritty with dirt and sand in there, just to make sure it's going to turn real good. And we want this running like it's brand new, so it'll go in and out of neutral and that real easy again. So now I'm going to grease it up, and I might see about maybe cleaning. These are like a plastic bushing, which I was surprised to see in there. So I'm just going to clean that out a little bit, and I'm going to pack this with as much grease as I can, and put lots of grease around that, and then we'll put it back in, and then I'll start working. Okay, so I've got it back in, and it's all greased up. I have yet just hook up this, but you can see how that's moving really easy now. Where before, when I was turning this whole bolt was spinning, and that shouldn't have done that. So now it's all nice and moving freely. So hopefully when I get her all set up, it should run like it's brand new again. We went to the maple syrup fest, and the farmers were making skipping ropes out of baler twine for the girls with these rope tying machines, and they'd been wondering where it went. There it is. That's the thing they leave in tall grass, huh? The problem is I can't even get out the bolts to get the blade off, so I have to cut this out first. Got all that out, and some, wherever the rest went. Some over here. So, it spins again. The other one wasn't too bad. Yeah, I think I'm just going to sharpen them later. They don't actually seem to be as bad as I thought, so I'll do that next time in the fall for the spring. I was just going to show you with these MTDs why I don't like putting the decks on and off. They're a lot more complex than the Cub kit that I had. There was only 4 pins to pull out on the deck on the other one. And these things here, there's a plate in here that has a long rod that goes through it. I have right here, and then there's one here, the actual pickup one is right there, and there's another one right here, another stabilizer, balancer, whatever. And there's 2 back in there, and then there's one at the other side way up in there. So quite a few attachments to do just to take the deck off. You know, if you ever wanted to just sharpen the blades quick, or if you wanted to use this for something else. But anyways, it's what I could afford, but I do miss my old Cub cadet. Well, I got the deck back on. I finally got those pins all hooked up. Now for the part I don't want to do. This great big Belma spring here probably takes about maybe 100 pounds pressure in order to expand it. It has to go across and hook up to this right here, and this is for the transmission part that I was showing you. So hopefully with a couple of pry bars I can get it and see what I can do with that. With some innovation, I managed to get this spring back on. I do have a brake tool that I bought that has a special end on it for hooking springs on and off, but this part here, where it's supposed to clamp on an actual rear brake drum, I had no place to put it here, so what I ended up doing was actually I put this here, and I braced this part here, and I tightened it up with some vice grip, and I used this end here and used this to leverage it to get, use this to leverage it to get it on and hooked on. So, I don't want to do that every day for a living. So, I've got that far. I guess the next thing now is to start it up and test it out. Well, got it done, it's all fixed, and that's one of the joys of a dirt floor in the summer. But anyways, good for another rest of the season. Till the next time it breaks. Alright.